Hi, this is Mrs. Freeman. Today we're going to talk about function notation and evaluating functions. So first we're just going to start with the definition. So function notation, function notation, it says to write a rule in function notation you will use the symbol f of x in place of y. So in our example it says y equals 3x minus 8, and in function notation we would say f of x equals 3x minus 8. So what we're saying is this y means the exact same thing as this f of x, because notice your equation is the same there. So y and f of x are the exact same thing. If you see an equation written with this f of x or g of x or h of x, though, what it's telling you is that that equation is a function. It is a function, which means it will pass the vertical line test. So for example, this equation, y equals 3x minus 8, if we were to graph it, it's going to look something like this. And notice if you did the vertical line test on that, that would pass the vertical line test. Let's look at some examples. So the first example you have says evaluate y equals negative 7x plus 4 when x equals negative 5. So this is just an order operations problem. This one we know how to do. We've been used to doing this. So this is saying we're going to take this negative 5 and we're going to plug it where the x is. And we're going to solve this. Okay. So order operation says negative 7 times negative 5 is positive 35. Bring down the plus 4. And y equals 39. Well, this problem that we just solved and this next example that's on your paper are the exact same problem. It's just written in a different notation. So this bottom one here, evaluate f of negative 5, this is function notation. So what this is saying is that this equation is a function, and wherever there's an x, we're going to plug in this negative 5. So this is saying negative 7 times negative 5 and bring down the plus 4. So order operations just like we did on the one before. Negative 7 times negative 5 is 35. Bring down the plus 4. 35 plus 4 is 39. So notice we have the exact same problem here. Now the difference is we're going to write our answer as an order pair. So in an order pair, you're always going to have an x and then a y. So our x value is going to be the number we plugged in, which was negative 5. And our y value is going to be our answer once we plug that value in, which is 39. This is going to be our answer. This is saying if we went back to that equation that we had, and we looked at the graph, if we went left 5 and up 39, that would be a point on that graph. All right, let's try some more examples. So our directions here say evaluate f of x equals negative 7x plus 4. So this is our equation that we're going to use for the following. So example 1, I'm going to draw a little squiggly line here. So example 1 says find f of 2. So this is saying that you're going to go to your function, and in place of x, you're going to fill in a 2. So we're going to bring down that negative 7. Instead of x, we're going to fill in 2. And we're going to bring down this plus 4. So we're going to say negative 7 times 2 is negative 14. Bring down that plus 4. Negative 14 plus 4 is negative 10. And then we're going to write our answer as an order pair. So in an order pair, x comes first, which is the number you plugged in, which is 2, comma, y is your answer, which is negative 10. Okay, let's look at example 2. So example 2 says we want f of negative 1. So we're going to use the same function again, but this time instead of filling in 2, we're going to fill in negative 1 where the x is. So we're going to bring down the negative 7. In place of x, we're going to put times negative 1 and bring down that plus 4. So order operations again, we're going to multiply. Negative 7 times negative 1 is positive 7. Bring down the plus 4. 7 plus 4 will give us 11. So then your answer you write as an order pair. Every order pair, x comes first, which is the number we plugged in, so negative 1 comma, and then y is your answer, which is 11. There's your answer. Okay, and on number 3, why don't you try this one on your own? So pause the video, work it out, see what you get, and then come back and watch. So we have f of 0, so this time we're going to plug in 0 where there's an x. So we'll bring down that same function, so negative 7, in place of x we're going to put 0, and bring down the plus 4. So negative 7 times 0 is 0, plus 4 will give us 4, and then you write your answer as an ordered pair, so x is 0, and y is your answer, which is 4. So 0, 4. Okay, so our directions on this one say evaluate f of x equals x squared minus 2x. So this is our function this time. So example 1, it says to find f of negative 5. So that means in place of x, we're going to fill in negative 5 here. So we're going to have parenthesis negative 5 squared. Notice how I'm putting parentheses here because I'm replacing that x. Minus 2 times, in place of x, we're going to have negative 5 again. So order operations. So I'm going to start with my exponents. So negative 5 squared, which means negative 5 times negative 5, so that's positive 25. Now if you put that in the calculator, make sure you keep the parentheses around it. Bring down the rest. Okay, in our next step we're going to multiply. So we're going to multiply negative 2 times negative 5, which is positive 10. So we'll bring down our 25, and that becomes positive 10. 25 plus 10 will give us 35. And then your order pair is your final answer. So the x comes first, so negative 5, comma, your y, which is 35. And there's our answer. Okay, example 2, we have f of 2. So this time we're going to plug in positive 2 where the x is. So we're going to have positive 2 squared minus 2, and in place of x we're going to put the 2 again. So order operations, 2 squared, so this means 2 times 2, which is positive 4. Bring down everything else. Then we're going to multiply, so negative 2 times 2 will give us negative 4, so 4 minus 4. And 4 minus 4 is 0. And then your order pair, so the x, which was 2, comma, the y, which is 0. And there's your answer. Okay, in the last example, why don't you pause the video, try it on your own, then come back and watch it and see what you get. So this one we have f of negative 8. So we're going to plug in negative 8 in place of the x this time. So we're going to have negative 8 squared minus 2 in place of x is negative 8. Okay, order operations. So negative 8 squared. So negative 8 times negative 8 is positive 64. Bring down everything else. Once again, if you put that in the calculator, make sure you have your parentheses. And then the next step we're going to multiply, so negative 2 times negative 8, that will give us positive 16, so bring down 64 and positive 16. And then 64 plus 16 will give us 80. And then our answer, so x, which is negative 8, that's what you plugged in, and y, which is 80.